Well, Shabbat Shalom to everybody, and thank you for coming this evening. And the service is on page 79, and it's the third service. And Janet, would you like to light the candles, or shall I?
I think I might let you do it. It's just getting harder and harder for me to find on those stairs, to be honest.
All right, well, I'll do them. I will make you a light to the nations, that my salvation may reach the ends of the earth. As these candles remind us of past generations of our people who have sought to live up to that ideal, so may we in our day strive to be a source of light to those about us. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Eternal God, your glory fills the universe. We are never beyond the touch of your hand, yet we are grateful for special times and places which help us in company with others to reach out to you. Here at this hour, let us feel your nearness, grant that we may hear your voice speaking in our hearts, as in the stillness of Sabbath peace we turn to you. The sun on the treetops no longer is seen. Come gather to welcome the Sabbath, our Queen. Behold her descending, the holy, the blessed, and with her the angels of peace and of rest. Draw near, and here abide. Draw near, O Sabbath bride. Peace also to you, you angels of peace. We've welcomed the Sabbath with song and with prayer, and home will return our heart's gladness to share. The table is set there, the candles are glowing, the food is prepared, the wine will be flowing. O day of blessing, day of rest, O peace, a day of peace, forever blessed. Bring peace to us all, O angels of peace. And perhaps we'll read this one alternatively. Sing a new song to the Eternal One, who has done wonderful things. You'll remember your love and faithfulness for Israel. Shout for joy to the Eternal One, all the earth. Sing praise with the harp. Let trumpet blast and horn resound. Let the sea roar and all that fills it. Let the rivers clap hands before the eternal God who comes to rule the earth. Right, shall we all sing this together? Lahadu di likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nakabala, Lahadu di likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nakabala. Shabbat v'zacha v'dibu echad, Ishmi'anu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, Hashem v'tefillah. Lahadu di likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nakabala. Lahadu di likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nakabala. Likrat Shabbat lechu b'necha, ki hem kol habracha merosh mikeder natsuha sof ma'aseh b'mahashabat ha'ela lahadudi likrat kana Haneshabat lekabana lahadudi likrat kana Haneshabat lekabana Hitorari Kiva ore kumi uri Shirda beri Kavod Adonai alayit lepina Lahadudi librat kala Haneshabat lekabana Lahadudi librat kala Haneshabat lekabana Bo'im v'shalom ateret ba'ala Gam b'simcha u'b'sova Bo'echulchem ha'zakula Bo'im kala Bo'hadudi lahadudi lekabana Haneshabat lekabana Lahadudi likrat kala Haneshabat lekabana. Right, so we now turn to page 92, and would you all stand for the Baruch? Baruch et Adonai Hamavara Baruch Adonai Hamavara Leolam Va'ed. Perhaps you'll all sit down now, please. We praise you, Eternal One, our God, Sovereign of the universe, whose word brings on the evening, whose wisdom opens heaven's gates, whose understanding changes times and seasons, and whose will sets the stars in their courses in the sky. You make day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light. You make day pass and bring on the night, and separate day from night. You rule the hosts of heaven.
Praise the Lord, whose word makes evening full.
Ahavat olam, Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amaha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Ukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadata, Otanu limadata, Al ken Adonai, Eloheinu, v'shomeinu, u'v'kumenu, Nosia, Barukecha, v'nizma, v'divrei Torataha, u'v'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki hem hayenu, ve'orei yameinu, u'v'hem Baruch Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Perhaps if you can stand and we'll say the Shema together. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'dvarim ha'ele asher Elohim mesavta hayom al levavecha v'shinamta b'pnecha v'dibarta bo v'shivtecha b'beitecha v'v'levtecha b'derech v'v'shalpacha u'pnecha v'shalvacha u'jetecha v'hayu latucha v'bein elecha v'talcha v'zot beitecha v'vishorecha. Perhaps you'd all sit down now, please. Laman tizkaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kadoshim le'Elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim le'yod lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. All this we hold to be true and sure. You alone, Eternal One, are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You have freed us from oppressors and delivered us from tyrants. You led us out of Egypt forever to serve you in freedom. When we witnessed your power, we praised your name and gave thanks. Willingly we accepted your rule. Then, full of joy, we sang together, Mi hamo habarim Adonai, Mi hamo hanedo b'kodesh, Noro tahilu osei vele, Adonai yimlo And it has been said, the Eternal One has delivered Jacob and redeemed us from the hand of one stronger than ourselves. We praise you, O God, Redeemer of Israel. Perhaps we'll say the next prayer together. Grant, Eternal God, that we may lie down in peace, and let us rise up to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your wise counsel, and for your name's sake be our help. Shield us from sickness and war, from famine and distress, and keep us from wrongdoing. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you are our guardian and deliverer. Our gracious and merciful God, guard our going out and our coming in, and now and always we may have life and peace. We praise you, O God. May your sheltering peace descend on us and all who dwell on earth.
So we're on page 97. Can you please stand for the immediate? Adonai sefatitita ufia gita hiloteha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, O El HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel hasadim tovim, v'tonei hakal, v'zocher hasdeavot imahot, v'mevi geula livnei b'nehem, l'ma'an shemo b'ahavat. Melech ozer Mashiach Magay, Baruch atah Adonai, Magay Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Atah gebo le'olam Adonai, Mahaye metim atah Rav l'Hoshia. Mashiach Harua v'Marid Hageshem, Mazriah Hashemesh v'Marid Atal. Makakal Hayim b'Hesed, Mahaye metim b'Rahamim Ramim. So no olim, umatir asurim, umakaye menunaselu, lishone yafa, michamal ha'al gurad, umido melo, melek memid, Metim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mahaye hametim. You are holy, awesome is your name. We have no God but you. We praise you, eternal one, the holy God. Please be seated. We thank you, O God, for this Sabbath day, which calls us to a closer communion with you. Though you are near to us at all times, you reveal your presence most clearly when we direct our thoughts towards you in worship and meditation. In you, O God, our humanity is exalted. You are our life. From you come its greatness, its power, its beauty. Establish in us, we humbly pray, a devotion to you that shall be firm in all the circumstances of life. May this service renew in our hearts a sense of your presence and bring us peace. Yismahu b'malchutecha, Yismahu b'malchutecha, Shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg, Amakadshei Shavi'i, Amakadshei Shavi'i, Kulam Yismahu v'yisadu mituvecha. V'hashvi roti tabo v'kidash to hemdat yomim oto karate zechen separations. Our God and God of our ancestors, may our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us by your commandments and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Eternal One, let the holiness of your Sabbath enter our hearts, and may all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its peace. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of the Sabbath. Say Adonai Eloheinu, B'Yamacha Yisrael, U'Tefilatom B'Yacha Tekabel, U'Tehilaratzon, Tamid Abadat Yisrael, Alecha Yisrael Alecha give thanks that you, Eternal One, are our God, as you were the God of our ancestors. You are the rock of our life, the power that shields us in every age. We thank and praise you for our lives, which are in your hand, for our souls, which are in your keeping, for the signs of your presence we encounter every day, and for your wondrous gifts at all times, morning, noon, and night. We praise you, O God, source of goodness, to whom our thanks are due. So we're
If you'll
middle
join
of
with
page
me.
101, but we can join in with you.
Okay, and I'm going to sing the Shalom Rav by Ben Steinberg. Okay, so if you know it, join in with me, please. Shalom Rav al Yisrael tasim leolam ki atahu melech adom la'am ha-shalom v'tov belecha levaret et amcha Yisrael b'chol et uv'chol sha'a b'shramecha Baruch atah Adonai oseh ha-shalom.
Just take a minute for silent prayer, perhaps a bit of family recollection.
Yehu ratzon imre fi, Yehu ratzon imre fi, v'elyon labi lafanecha, Adonai v'goravi. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart be acceptable before you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. O say shalom b'mramav, Yahweh shalom aleinu, B'al Yisrael, B'al kol b'nei Adam. Amen.
Thank you. Short sermonette. Now, the theme which complements this week's Torah portion is called joy. It is easy to link joy with good friendship. Friends come in many different guises. I don't even know the names of some of my friends, but please let me explain the situation. Last month was the start of the football season, and together with the KLS treasurer, my elder son Philip, I went to the Emirates Stadium to watch Arsenal play Wolves. Many of the spectators seated around us have been supporters like us for many years. And after a 3-month close season break, it was good to see them all again. The conversation, as one would expect, was about the hopes and aspirations for the coming season, together with inquiring about their summer and of course how they were keeping. The interesting thing is that mostly we do not know each other's names, which may appear odd, but I understand that this is not unusual in sporting arenas. We are part of, if you like, the family of friendship, which is football. Similarly, in a few weeks' time, we will be celebrating the High Holidays, and members will have the opportunity of meeting and greeting each other, possibly after some time since previously seeing one another. It is a blessing to have really good friends who share not only your worries and concerns, but also your pleasures and celebrations. I often wonder if some of our famous biblical characters had any close friends, or indeed any friends at all. The Torah does not waste words on what is perceived as unnecessary facts. For instance, there is no description of features of characters, their size or weight, no details of climate conditions or best routes taken for journeys, so it is not surprising that friendships are not mentioned. But if we were to let our minds wander and consider what could have taken place shortly before the Israelites were due to enter the Promised Land, as featured in this week's etc., let us for a moment assume Moses had a very good friend. This is how the situation may well have gone. Moses was just finishing his breakfast when there was a knock at the door of his tent. I'm not actually certain you can knock at the door of a tent, but you get the point, yeah. It was his closest and best friend, Solly. "Solly," said Moses, "lovely to see you. How are you?" "Very well," replied Solly, and they chatted about this and that. Moses then invited Solly to come to Shabbos dinner with his family the following Friday night. Moses informed Solly that he only ate one proper meal a week, and that was saved for Fridays. At that point, Moses' wife, Zipporah, entered the tent and gave Solly a warm hug to welcome him, and stated that he must join them for Shabbos dinner, adding that Aaron and his family would also be attending. Zipporah said that she knew Moses was fed up with the usual evening meal, as eating manna 6 nights a week was rather boring, notwithstanding their thanks to God for providing it. Mind you, she told Solly that Moses complained about the fish cakes which he had cooked last Friday. Apparently he said that they lacked flavour, much like the previous week's lamb casserole. Moses, she said, was getting rather fussy and refused even to eat his greens. Not a good example to the children, Zipporah told Moses. However, she said to Solly, "When you come next Friday, I will make Moses' favourite dinner, gefilte fish and latkes, followed by a friend's recipe for lokshen pudding." With this information, Moses sprung to life. "That's marvellous, my darling Zipporah," he said. "Is the lokshen pudding recipe from your Levite friend Sandra Levine, who is camped over yonder?" "Yes," said Zipporah, and all were very happy. Solly remarked to Moses that he looked a little down. "You're right," replied Moses. "When we were young lads together, we had much fun," Moses continued. "Do you remember when we were teenagers and had running races around the pyramids? Also when we were nearly caught by the Egyptian policeman for scrumping apples from Pharaoh's garden? Fortunately, he couldn't catch us as we were hiding behind the Sphinx." "Solly, you are my oldest friend. You have been with me through thick and thin. Do you recall helping me get over my nerves at the shore of the Red Sea? A valued friend indeed." Moses continued, "Now my life seems to be so demanding, surrounded by sorest trouble. On the one hand, I have God giving me instructions for the children of Israel. Please don't misunderstand me. I regard God as a friend, although I have to admit I'm sometimes frightened by God. On the other hand, I have the Israelites. I love them dearly, but they can be so awkward at times that they can make me tear my hair out. That's if I had any. Sorrows and trouble seem to be my life these days. What advice would you give me, my dear friend?" Solly sat pensively for a few minutes, considering his answer. "Don't fret yourself, Moses. You have done wonders for our people. You are a good man and will be remembered eternally as a great prophet for all that, with God's help, you have accomplished. It has been my greatest pleasure to be considered your friend." With that, Moses hid a tear and hugged Solly warmly. "As a matter of interest, Moses," said Solly, "using your prophetic skills, how do you envisage this region of the world to look in, say, 3,500 years' time? Let's say 2024. "Gosh, Solly, that's a tough one," replied Moses. I see conflict and heartbreak in this land which is flowing with milk and honey. They will suffer ups and downs, joys and sorrows, but always remember that the Israelites are God's chosen people. God, come what may, will never abandon them. God will always be there, riding on their shoulders, but my dear friend, it will be a bumpy ride. However, hopefully, it will turn out all right in the end. Hope you like it. Yeah. And I hope Sandra Levine's watching at home. Yeah. Anyway, we continue with the Eleno on page 520.
That's for Sandra.
Pardon?
So that's for Sandra. She is watching.
Sorry?
I can confirm she's watching.
Oh, good. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, Sandra. I did hint she was going to be mentioned to her. Right. Now, Elena on page 520, please, and if you'd like to stand. Okay. Elena the Shabbat down Hakol, the take a doodle the Yosef Bereshit, Asher Som Helkenu the Hadeshama, Begor Elenu the Hamlich Malhuto, Vanachnu Korim, Umishtachavim, Umodim, Livnei Melech, Malchei Hamlakim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, She'unote Shamayim, Yosed Ores, Umashab Yikaro, Bashamayim Mima'al, Ushina Suzo, Begol Hei Maramim, Hu Eloheinu Einot, Emek Malkeinu Efezuloto, Kakato Batoroto, Viadata Hayom, Ha'ashamota, El Vaveha, Ki Adonai, Hu Elohim, Bashamayim Mima'am, V'yahores, Mitahat Eimod. Then at the bottom of page 521, V'ne'ema, V'hoyo Adonai, L'melech al kol ha'ores, V'yom ha'hu, Yeh Adonai echad, echad. And on page 522, number 3. The growing good of the world is partly dependent on unhistoric acts, and that things are not so ill with you and me as they might have been is half owing to the number who live faithfully a hidden life and rest in unvisited tombs. Even when they are gone, the departed are with us. They inspire us to live as in their high moments they themselves sought to live. We remember them now. They remain in our hearts. They are a continual blessing. And this week, on the occasion of their Yortsites, we remember Victoria Edelstein, mother of Katia Ray and grandmother of Ben and Natasha. Betty Griffiths, grandmother of Naomi Enifer. Margaret Regal, mother of Mary Simmons and grandmother of Robert, Alison and Nathan. Arnold Friedman, husband of Pauline Friedman. And Liesl Johnson, mother of Tina Higgins. Tina, I wish you a long life. Yeah. Are there any other names anybody would like to recall? We say Kaddish, on page 524. Itgadal v'yikdash shnei rava, b'amal divrei karutei, yamlik machutei, b'hayavhoi neviamecho, b'v'choyei d'cho beit Yisrael, b'agavar esman gariv yimru amen. Yehei shnei rava mavera, yehom alamei omaya, yisbara, istasei, v'tala, shnei d'kedusha preyavu. The Elam Miko Brehota Sturata, Tushbahata, Nehemata, Damiram, Yama Bimru Amen. Ya Israel Rabba Benjamin. Ayem Leila Yako Israel Bimru Amen. Seshalom Bimrema. Hu Ya Seshalom. Aleinu Yako Israel. Yako Benedom Bimru Amen. Please be seated. The down along.
It's the French Sephardic one.
Down along Hashem Ana Terim Ko Yasin Ifra Yes Nasa Vahef Sako Azai Meresh Shamonikra Azai Meresh Shamonikra V'yahare Kiko Kiko Lavado Yimamura Vahuhaya Vahuhavet Vahuye Batifara Vahuye Batifara Huehad V'enjeni Laham Shilo Lahabira Balireke Balitakli Valohas Vaham Isra Valohas Vaham Isra Vahueli Vahaigali Vasuli Vesara Vahunisi Umanosli Manoskosi Bayomekra Manoskosi Bayomekra Yado Avki Gruhi Biesisha Biomekra And just on page 563, the final benediction. Yivarechacha Adonai v'ishmarecha, Ya'eh Adonai panav elecha v'hunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha, Yisem lecha shalom. May God bless us and keep us. May God look kindly upon us and be gracious to us. May God reach out to us in tenderness and give us peace. Shabbat shalom to everyone. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you, Jill, for helping with my awful singing. Thank you, Judith. And thank you, people who joined us online.